Hey guys, what's up? It's Apple Critics from AppleCritics.com. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about all the iOS 13 features that Apple didn't announce at WWDC 2019. So I'll just be talking about the lesser known features and more of the underrated features of iOS 13 that nobody's really talking about and that are kind of under the radar and eventually will become some of the bigger and most well-known features of iOS 13 when it drops in September. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight on into this video. So now to start off, Apple Maps will be a significant part of iOS 13. So Apple's trying to get away from Google Maps and push more users towards their own Apple Maps. So now with Apple Maps, it's easier to report a problem in Maps, so that's definitely one of the nice new features. So now you don't have to go into settings and look for the ability to report something in Maps. It's just going to be right there, and it's much easier to report it, so Apple Maps can get a lot better. Now next up is actually FaceTime for dual SIM. So this is a very sweet feature. So with FaceTime for dual SIM, you can FaceTime from one number. Let's say it's your personal number that you want all your friends to have. Then you can also FaceTime from another number. Say if you have a business and you want to FaceTime all your business contacts, you have both. So you can FaceTime with dual SIM. And you can also FaceTime from an email now. So this will be a very underrated feature. And now Apple is geared towards dual SIM devices. So this will definitely be a nice feature. Now also with FaceTime comes iMessage. You can also iMessage on dual SIM, so this is also a much needed feature. So I'm glad that it's in iOS 13, especially for people that want to balance their business and personal life. And just want to have dual SIM phones, because dual SIM phones are very popular overseas, not so popular in North America, but this is nice that it's finally on iOS 13. Now there is location controls for shared photos, so now it's much more secure and tighter. And you can share it to your close friends group now without the photo going the wrong place. So it's just better options when it comes to sharing photos. Now in terms of emojis, emojis are becoming more and more popular as the days go by. So now you'll have a dedicated emojis button on the keyboard, and then you'll also have the globe icon for a different language. So it won't be hidden under the globe icon for emojis, and then you go and find them. It will just have a dedicated button in the keyboard, which I really did like in the iOS 13 beta. Now there will be Siri suggestions in Safari. So if you don't know what Siri suggestions are, basically if you go into your home screen of your iPhone and you pull down to search, you'll see that it will have some certain shortcuts or suggestions for you to do. So if you call your friend a lot, it will actually say and suggest call your friend of whatever their name is. And if you frequently text a certain friend, it will suggest text that friend's name, and it's just really good. So now it'll be in Siri suggestions, so analyze how you use your search in Safari and which websites you go to the most, which ones are bookmarked, which ones you never go to. So it'll just analyze all of that, and then it will suggest what website that you should go to within Safari. So this is definitely a great feature. Now the next feature actually will be Apple CarPlay support for regular screen sizes. So this will make Apple CarPlay more universal, and it won't be all botched and not looking good on certain CarPlay supported cars. So this will be definitely a nice feature, so it's just good that it'll actually format and make CarPlay more usable. Now CarPlay will finally be getting Hey Siri support. So that means anytime you're in your car, it will be much more usable now for CarPlay, and you only just have to say those two words, Hey Siri, and then it'll activate Siri. Now there is a view-only collaboration in Notes, so if you're familiar with Google Drive and Google Docs, this is just a really good feature that Apple is adding. So you just share that particular Notes document to whoever you want to, and then there's just going to be this view-only collaboration mode. So this is a much underrated feature, and I feel like this will be very, very popular in the near future. Now Apple does have some typing predictions for certain languages, so there will now be typing predictions for Vietnamese, so that will be very good for that user base of iPhones that will be running iOS 13. Now there finally will be folder management in Notes, so this is a much needed and long awaited feature. So Notes is getting a lot better. It depends on the user you ask for iOS 13 or iPhones in general if they use Notes, but for those who do, it's pretty good. You have it synced over iCloud, and it'll keep all your notes in one place, so having that folder management is definitely an essential feature. Now you can add attachments to events and calendar, and not only that, but now the battery will also be optimized. So I feel like the battery being optimized is one of the biggest features of iOS 13. Apple's constantly researching how they can get better battery life and how you can get detailed analysis of how your battery is being used. So this will also be a good feature. So this is kind of like the introduction of low power mode, a few iterations of the OS ago, where now everybody uses low power mode when they can. So I highly recommend and think very highly of this battery optimized feature in iOS 13, and I feel like a lot of users will be using it down the road. Now you can finally block the sender in mail, and it's very simple to do now. And also Siri is improving the Siri shortcuts in home automation, so they're really pushing towards home automation. So it's just nice to have those Siri shortcuts now, and it's trying to have that connected Internet of Things and connected house in general. Now we finally can control the Wi-Fi from Control Center, so this was actually one of the biggest features of iOS 13 thus far. So it's good that we can finally control it without going into the actual settings app. Now there's also a single sign-on extension for apps on iOS 13, so this single sign-on will just be a lot easier, and I highly recommend this feature, and it'll just be very secure as Apple is moving to secure and encrypted sign-ins. There's also new relationship labels in contacts, so it's giving you that Facebook Messenger feel of adding a profile photo, and it's going to be synced to everybody who has iMessage. So that's a really good feature that I do like. Now you can also choose the language per app, so that's definitely a good feature. And the QR code will be more prevalent in iOS 13, so they're enhancing the QR code feature and core capabilities. Now you do have typing predictions for the Swedish language as well, so that's really good. And you also do have a second stream video support in CarPlay, so Apple's really improving CarPlay. And then with Safari, you do have enhanced anti-fingerprint protections in the Safari app, so that's definitely a welcome feature. Now in CarPlay, you also do have the Do Not Disturb mode, so that's definitely a great feature and enhancement for CarPlay. But then you also have the low data mode, so low data mode will just cap your data limits and really focus on using less data. So that's really an underrated feature, and I can see myself using this feature every day with iOS 13 because this will actually be a very clutch feature, and this low data mode is kind of like a low battery mode that will optimize your data so it uses less at a certain time. So let's say if you're going on the internet will take longer to load, but you're using less data, and this will ensure that you're not using up all of your data. Now there is search enhancements in Photos, so there's actually no camera roll at all in Photos, so it's trying to make the photos more optimized and a little bit different and focusing on memories in the Photos app, so that's why there's enhanced search in Photos. Now there is an enhanced language setup and a data separation for BYOD, so bring your own device, so the data will be separated, and this is also a great feature for the data part of iOS 13. Now you can also have a bilingual keyboard on iOS 13, so if you speak two languages and go back and forth, you have an option and support for a bilingual keyboard, so that's much needed. Now there's also a light mode in CarPlay, so this is just a theme, so you can change it from the normal dark mode to light mode, so that's very good. You can also set reading goals for Apple Books, so these reading goals will just kind of take away from Audible in a way, as you have reading goals on that platform and achievements, so this is what's going to be ported over to Apple Books. Apple Notes will be much more powerful because there's an enhanced search, so Notes is just getting a lot better with iOS 13, and Apple is putting a lot of focus towards the Notes app, so it should be promising in iOS 13. Now there's an updated Safari start page, and there's an enhanced search in Messages as well. So there's an enhanced search basically all around iOS 13, so that's definitely very good and welcome for those who use the search features within standard Apple apps. Now in iOS 13, there's independent CarPlay view, so that's good if you're the driver, that there's an independent view. And there also is a Bluetooth splitter, so that's a new feature, and you can have the option to mute a mail thread in iOS 13. So that's all three collective great features. Now moving on, there is Siri suggestions in Apple Podcasts, so this will analyze what podcasts you listen to and see what type of genres you listen to the most as well. So then it will recommend based on your usage, so that's definitely very good. And now we finally have Apple IDs for business, so if you're a business and enterprise customer, this is perfect for you. So now you you can have it for business use and business purposes. Now there also is transit directions for do not disturb while driving, so that's good that they're offering transit direction. So if you use the Reminders app, you can now customize the appearance of the Reminders list, so that's definitely a welcome feature. Now there also is business chat suggestions, so it'll be based off your current conversation and will be very in tune with that particular conversation. Now there is new checklist options in Notes, so once again the Notes app does have a bunch of new features and Apple is putting a big focus towards Notes and trying to be better than third-party Notes apps. Now you can finally silence unknown callers, so if you do get a lot of unknown calls, you can finally silence them. So this is definitely a underrated feature. Now you finally can use your AirPlay 2 speakers in home automation. So once again, home automation in iOS 13 has a big focus in it. Now you finally do get keyboard support in all 22 official Indian languages, so that's quite a bit to choose from. Now you do have the option to download large apps over cellular, and before it was only a limit of 200 megabytes, but now you can download whatever size app over cellular. So that's a great feature, especially if you have unlimited data. Now there is 38 new language controls in iOS 13, so that's definitely good. There is refresh home accessory controls, so with your home accessories and home automation, it is getting a lot better. Now there is weak password warning, so that's definitely good. Now there's Maps Place card enhancements and Dolby Atmos playback. So getting that Dolby Atmos is a big and much underrated feature. So you do get Apple News Plus in UK and Australia, and now you can finally have simultaneous phone calls with dual SIM. So you can have calls going on at the same time using a dual SIM. So this is very un-Apple-like, but now they're having a lot of dual SIM support, so it's cool to have simultaneous phone calls on dual SIM devices. Now you do get conversational Siri shortcuts, so Siri shortcuts did get much improved, and Siri shortcuts were a hit for iOS 12, I would say. Now the last two features are modern authentication for device enrollment and Siri event suggestions from third-party apps. So those are all the iOS 13 features that Apple did not talk about at WWDC, but there was a picture of them being displayed. So I basically uncovered the veil from all those hidden features that Apple did not talk about at WWDC. So please tell me what you think about all those features down below, and also tell me which feature you think is the most underrated that I mentioned in this video. So please be sure to subscribe, please like this video, please smash that like button down below so you know what you watched. Also be sure to check out all the other videos on my channel, and be sure to check out applecritics.com for latest Apple news, views, and more. And be sure to like my Facebook fan page at facebook.com/applecritics, and also follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/applecritics. And if you have an Instagram account, be sure to follow me on Instagram at instagram.com/applecritics. And once again, thanks for watching.